Brothers and sisters, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we will talk about the Dajjal, and specifically, we will talk about the signs of the arrival of the Dajjal that us Muslims should know and be aware of. Of course, there are a lot of things to talk about when it comes to the Dajjal. We can talk about the description of the Dajjal by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his appearance, etc. We can talk about the powers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Dajjal. We can talk about the possible location of the Dajjal. And of course, like we are going to do in this video, we can talk about the signs to look for before the Dajjal arrives. And this is going to be our main focus in this video. A very important thing to clarify is that when we talk about the arrival of the Dajjal, we are talking about the time of the reveal of the Dajjal. Meaning the time the Dajjal will be revealed to us. Because the Dajjal is already here on earth according to the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he did not arrive yet, meaning he did not reveal himself to us yet. Of course, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows when that's gonna happen. But there are a lot of signs that will precede that exact moment. It's very important to note that when we talk about the arrival of the Dajjal, we are also talking about Akhir Zaman, meaning the end time, the approach of Yawm al-Qiyamah, the last day. And when we talk about the signs of the arrival of the Dajjal, we are also talking about Alamat al-Sa'ah, because the arrival of the Dajjal is one of the major signs of the end time, one of Alamat al-Sa'ah al-Kubra. First, we should understand who the Dajjal is by understanding the meaning of his name. Dajjal comes from Arabic, from the word Dajjal, which means to lie or to deceive, which is a very convenient and precise description of the Dajjal, because the Dajjal is a great liar and deceiver. He's going to lie and deceive a lot of people, and he's going to pretend to be a god. Astaghfirullah, brothers and sisters. And because of the superpowers he has, superpowers that nobody on earth ever possessed and that nobody on earth has ever seen, people will flock to him and believe in him and follow him. But at the end of the day, all of these powers were given to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a lot of people will follow the wrong path, the path of the Dajjal, and they will be deceived. And right now, a lot of Muslims will think and say, why should I care about the fitna of the Dajjal? Why should I even think about this? It's so obvious. I'm not going to fall for this deception. My iman, my faith is strong enough, and this is going to be an easy test to pass. Sorry, but this is not going to be an easy test to pass. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam described the fitna of the Dajjal as the biggest fitna ever, the biggest fitna in the history of humankind. This is not going to be obvious, and this is not going to be easy. And this is why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kept reminding us of the Dajjal. This could happen at any time, at any moment, and most Muslims are not even prepared. The people who the Dajjal will fail to deceive will have a very strong faith and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, every Muslim should be prepared for that moment. Because according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at the time of the arrival of the Dajjal is going to meet every single person on earth and try to deceive them. And according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the signs of the closeness of the arrival of the Dajjal is that people will stop talking about him enough. And if you think about it, we are already there. I mean, when is the last time somebody talked to you about the Dajjal in real life? Some Muslims think it's a story, while in reality it's in the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not only that, some Muslims think even the jinn are not real, even though they are mentioned multiple times in the Holy Quran and in the hadiths of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Dajjal is the biggest fitna ever, as described by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And most Muslims have no idea. Most Muslims do not even know about it because nobody told them. So this is one of the signs, according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the signs of the closeness of the arrival of the Dajjal is that most Muslims and most people won't even know about the Dajjal or the fitna of the Dajjal. Another sign of the closeness of the arrival of the Dajjal is that the earth is going to witness one of the best times ever when it comes to prosperity and abundance. And this period is going to take 7 years. 7 years full of blessing and abundance. But shortly after that, these exceptionally good years are going to be followed by one of the worst droughts in human history. And this big drought is going to take 3 years. This is going to happen directly after the arrival of the Dajjal, which means that when the Dajjal arrives, people will be very desperate, which is going to make it easier for the Dajjal to deceive them and lie to them, as people are in desperate need of food, water, and resources. And the Dajjal is going to take advantage of that in order to deceive them and trick them into thinking that he is a god. Astaghfirullah, brothers and sisters. When in reality he is just a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In a hadith in Sahih Muslim, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam talks about the Dajjal and says, "Inna ma'ahu ma'an wa naran, fanaruhu ma'un barid wa ma'uhu narun." Meaning the Dajjal has with him both fire and water, and his fire in reality is actual water, and his water in reality is actual fire. Meaning the Dajjal has with him both fire and water. Basically, it's a deception, and the Dajjal will take advantage of the drought and the dry conditions. He says to people, if you follow me, you can enjoy this river of water. It's for you to use and to drink from, etc. in exchange of following me. But in reality, this river of water is fire in reality. And on the other hand, the fire that the Dajjal has is the actual water. Deception and tricks are the biggest powers the Dajjal has. But because the people are in need at that point, they think if they follow the Dajjal, they are choosing the right side, when in reality they chose the wrong path. And this is exactly why this is the biggest fitna ever, according to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is only one example of the powers of the Dajjal. In Sahih Muslim, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam talks about the Dajjal and explains that when the Dajjal arrives and people follow him, Dajjal orders the sky to rain, and it rains, and he orders the earth to grow crops, and it grows crops. فيأمر السماء أن تمطر فتمطر ويأمر الأرض أن تنبت فتنبت. Brothers and sisters, this is just one part of the hadith in Sahih Muslim. You can check out the rest of the hadiths. It's a long hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the Dajjal. And in the same hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, ثم يأتي الخربة الأرض الخربة, meaning the Dajjal arrives at the empty, abandoned land. فيقول لها أخرجي كنوزك فينصرف منها فيتبعه كيعاسيب النحل. Meaning, when the Dajjal arrives at an empty, abandoned land, he orders the land to show her treasures, meaning her minerals, and the earth does that. So Dajjal can even extract minerals. He also has mountains of bread. So you can imagine this guy has mountains of bread, rivers of water. He can order the earth to grow crops, and it grows its crops. He can bring treasures and has special powers, and he is asking people to follow him, and all of this in a time when people are desperate after 3 years of drought. So you can imagine how hard this test is. This is why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam calls it the biggest fitna ever, or the biggest fitna of all the fitan. Fitan is the plural of fitna. People do not understand the scale of this fitna. It's so big to the point that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to recite the following dua in his prayer. And the dua is the following: Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adab al-qabri ومن عذاب النار ومن فتنة المحيا والممات ومن فتنة المسيح الدجال. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to mention hell, an-nar, and the Dajjal in the same dua. Another sign of the arrival of the Dajjal is the arrival of Al-Mahdi, which is going to occur before the arrival of the Dajjal and before the period of abundance and the subsequent drought. And also another sign is the coming of Yajuj and Majuj. There are a lot of things to say about both signs, and they both deserve their own videos. It's also worth to note that the arrival of the Dajjal also is one of the major signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah, of the end times. Most Muslim ulama think that the arrival of the Dajjal is going to occur before the other signs that signaled that Yawm al-Qiyamah or Qiyam al-Sa'a has approached. So, brothers and sisters, according to Muslim ulama, what should Muslims do to protect themselves against the fitna of the Dajjal? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered us to read the dua that we have already mentioned after the tashahhud, meaning after we finish praying, and this is mentioned in a hadith sahih in Sahih Muslim. And again, the dua is Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhab al-qabri wa min adhab al-nari wa min fitnat al-mahya wal-mamat wa min fitnat al-masih al-dajjal. Another thing that should be done is to read about the appearance of the Dajjal and his description so we can know him. And so, brothers and sisters, we are going to talk about the details of the appearance of the Dajjal inshallah in other videos. And another very important thing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to do is to memorize the first 10 ayats of Surah Al-Kahf. The subject of the Dajjal is a big subject which needs multiple videos to cover in detail. In this video we covered the signs to look for before the Dajjal arrives, and we will talk about the Dajjal in other videos inshallah. If you like this video and you want us to talk more about this topic, let us know if you want to see more videos like this in the future inshallah. And thank you for taking the time and for being here with us, and assalamu alaikum.